This video by request is about sharing documents between teachers and students in Google Docs, a part of Google Apps. This video is for teachers. We're going to look at two different ways to share documents with students. This first example is using a very open method of sharing. Students can retrieve documents and leave documents using a folder that was shared by the teacher. This method assumes a collaborative model much like the shared S drive on the AISD network. First, I'm going to create a folder in my teacher account, and I'm going to call this folder Mr. Martin 4th Period. Now, I'm going to share this folder by using the drop-down arrow, and then go to Share, and then Share again, at which point I could see the Share window. I can see the link at the top that I could use to directly link to it, but at the bottom of the screen, I can use the Add People box to share directly with another user. I'm going to type my student's name, John McLean, and as I type, AISD users will auto-populate this list until I find the user that I want. Notice that the student addresses will always end in @stu.austinisd.org. I could also share this document with the entire class. Each class a teacher has its own email ID to use with Google Apps. The standard format would be the 3-digit campus ID number, followed by the teacher's E number, followed by the period of that class, for example, P04 for 4th period. All class IDs end with the @crs.austinisd.org domain. Using that address in this box, we will be able to share this folder with any student who is registered to this class automatically. I will leave Can Edit so that the students can add documents to this folder. I can also have Google send the students a message announcing the new folder or document, and it will send a link to it just by clicking the Send Message button. Now I can see in the Share window what users have access and what type of access they have. I would also see the class ID listed here as well. I can now see what I'm sharing in my teachers folder. But let's look at the students view. The students will see the folder showing in their directory. I can open the folder and see everything in my teacher's folder. I can open that folder and then open documents from within there. Now that I see the teacher's folder in my collections, I can share a document back with my teacher by clicking on the file and dragging it on top of the teacher's folder. When I click on the teacher's folder, I will see that file that I just dropped onto it, and it is visible to anyone who is sharing that folder. The second method is a more closed model. Students do not have access to the teacher's folder of documents. Teachers will share documents using the document link, and students will share back with the teacher using a directly named share with that teacher. This model would be used more often when the teacher does not want the students to see each other's work after submitting it. For example, turning in graded assignments. If I look at my teacher's collection of documents, I will see a document that I want to share with my students, but I don't want them in my work folder. I'm going to share Famous Bruce's with my students. You can see the document here with the directions to the students at the very top. When they are done, they will share this document with me, not with the entire class. As the teacher, I'm going to share this document by going to the Share, and then I'm going to see who has access. I'm going to change this, and I'm going to select anyone at AISD can search for this document, making the document no longer private, but searchable by all of my students. The students can only view this document and not edit it when I click Can View. Yes, I could still send them the link at the top or add their class ID like I did in the previous example, but these are just several different ways that you can accomplish sharing this document. Now, when my students search for famous Bruces, they will need to click the drop arrow on the far right of the search bar and select Search Austin ISD at the bottom of that window. Now I will find famous Bruces, and I can see who owns that document. As the student, I have access to famous Bruces now, and I can open it. I can only view it at this point. As the student, I will use File, Make a Copy, and then click OK. My document is now showing Copy of Famous Bruces as the title. Looking at my document list, when I see my new document, I will see Copy of Famous Bruces. I can edit it, or I can open it and then edit that file. I will want to rename the document using my student name, and once I'm done, I will need to send my student document back to the teacher. Using the same sharing menus, I will share this document with my teacher, giving my teacher edit rights should he wish to leave comments on this document. Back as the teacher now, I do not see that document that was just shared with me because right now I'm only looking at my drive or my documents. I need to view the documents that have been shared with me, so I will click on the Shared With Me link to see John McLean's work. I now can open up my first period folder that is not shared with the students, and I can drag and drop John's file onto the folder that I created specifically for him. The obvious drawback to this method would be that at the end of the high school day, you could have over 100 shared documents in your shared list. Perhaps having the students name the shared files starting with their period, like P4, John McLean, would help alphabetize the documents for easier management. Also, nothing says that you need a folder for every student. The teacher's folder could be organized by graded product and not by the student. These are just two ways that teachers can begin to create their paperless environment in the classroom using shared documents in Google Docs.